Hello to one and all. Today we are going to be doing an August closeout for our sinking funds and doing a cash condensing. So why don't you join me? Let's go. Hello and welcome back to Katie's Budgets. My name is Chris, and today we are going to be doing a sinking funds review to close out the month of August and kind of get an idea of whether we are on track, how much we saved over the month, and do some cash condensing along the way. So I'd love it if you could just spend some time with me. So we are going to jump right into things. And I am also going to be replacing any of my Amazon placeholders that I had purchased with some ones that I have recently designed. So before we're all done with that, I'll be able to show you those. Those will be available in my Etsy store for a digital download at some point in the next week or so. So we are going to start off with our emergency fund. The month of July saw us end with $195. So let's see how much we were able to add to that. So we should have 245. So we have 150, 70, 90, 210, 230, 35, 40, and 45. So we have 245. And that means that we have added a total of $50 to this. That is pretty cool. So I should be able to take away these placeholders, and then I am going to put $50 back into the bank and put a $200 placeholder in its place. So we'll set that money over here. And we have 20. Oops, let's get this all in the right order here. 200, 20, 40, and 45 still. So that is pretty awesome. I think adding $50 for the month is not bad. Then for Christmas, we ended July with 300 and we should have 500. So there's 1, 2, 3, 354, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, and 500. So we'll get rid of these placeholders, and this is going to go back to the bank. And I put this money in for a high yield savings account that I have at the bank, just so that it can earn some money for me if I don't need to have access to it right away. Before I get too far along, I need to make sure I write down what it is that I'm taking back to the bank so I know what belongs where. So we ended with 500, and we're going to put a $500 placeholder in there. And that means we added $200 to Christmas last month. I can't say that I am upset with that at all. So pop that back in there. I cash condense and replace with placeholders just to kind of give you an idea as a result of two things. One, it keeps the amount of actual cash I have on hand in the house down. And two, then I'm able to put that money back to work for me. So if it's earning money, it's working for me. And that means I'm adding to what I have in savings. So that's kind of the whole premise behind that. Birthdays, we ended last month with 0 because my last birthday was in August. So we're going to be restarting that on our next cash stuffing to start planning for next year. And then vet expenses. This is the fund that I have that I utilize to cover anything for my cats. So I've got 2 cats, 1 male, 1 female. They're both 6 years old from the same litter. And if they need to go and have their nails trimmed, if they need to have their vaccinations, whatever the case might be, this is what this money's for. And this I do keep in cash because it's just easier for me to take cash down to the vet and deal with it that way. They appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's all taken care of. So we ended last month with 99. This one does have a lot of fluctuation through the month. So there's 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 96, 7, 8, 9, 100, and 101. So with adding money in last month and then having their nail appointment, we really only added $2 to that. And that's okay. At some point, I do need to get this up a little bit more just to cover any emergency situations for them. But worst case scenario, it can always come out of my emergency fund, because an emergency for them is an emergency for me too. All right, car maintenance. So car maintenance, we ended July with $105. Let's see where we are with this one. There it is. So there's $100, 10, 20, 25. So I'm going to get rid of that placeholder and replace it with a new one for 100. And I'm going to take these two 10s back and replace it for a 20. All right. And so we added, we added basically $20 to that. So 125. And no money going back to the bank on this one. That's okay. You're going to have some funds that just kind of earn, you just kind of build them up a little bit over time, and that is perfectly okay. License plate renewals, this one is already fully funded. So there's 180 in the bank, and that is where we are ending the month of August. Then we get to Costco. Costco is for my annual membership. This one we should have 60, so there's 50, 55, and 60. I'm going to take that 50 away and replace it with a new style 50. And these two 5s for a 10. So we have 50, 60. And that means we added $10 to that one. Alrighty, and then debt. This is a new envelope that I have added. I haven't started saving towards it yet, but I do have a couple of credit cards I need to work on getting paid off. Kind of getting tired of the nickel and dime situation, so we don't have anything as of yet. And we're starting with 0, so in our next cash stuffing, we'll get that one started. Then on to our low priority, we're going into holidays. And holidays, we ended July with 115. So we have 155. So there's 100, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 55. And I can take that and replace it with a new $100 placeholder. And then I'm going to put a 50 and 5. It means we are taking back to the bank $50. So 150, 55 means we added a total of $40 to this fund over the course of the month. All right, and then moving on to self-care. Self-care, we ended July on $15. And August, we have 20, 30, 35. Wait a minute. Haha, that's what I thought. 20, 30, 40, 45, and 50. That means that we added 35. I'm going to take that back to the bank. Put it into my high yield. And put a placeholder in. There we are for August for self-care. And then vacation, we ended July with 220 in vacation. And this one we have 1, 2, 20, 40, 50, and 55. That means we added 35. And I am going to take back 50 to the bank. I try really hard to keep track of what it is I'm doing because it's super easy to forget what came from where. And these are going away, and we're going to put a $200 and a $50 placeholder. So we now have two and $250 in the bank, and then 5. So $255. Get my hands to work in the right way here. And then budget supplies, I ended July with 0. I believe I spent it all last month. This month I do have cash in there at the end, so that's cool. So we have 20, so there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Don't have enough to be able to take back to the bank, but I can condense that into a $20 bill. Move things around just a tiny bit. Alrighty. That's pretty good. Gets me started. This one I'm going to try to use specifically for anything I need for my setup or my budget. And then moving funds. This one I am using to save up towards my move next year. So we have 20, 40, 50, and 60. We ended last month with 40. So we added 20, and I'm going to take $50 back to the bank. So we'll keep 10 and put a $50 placeholder in. And that gets that one settled. And then YouTube, this one is one that I'm saving money towards any milestones that we might actually hit on YouTube. I'm not planning on it, but you know, it never hurts. 20, 30, and 40. So I'm going to swap these two 10s out for a 20. And we ended that month with 30, so we just added $10 to that one. All right, so now comes the time where I get to figure out, did I make a mistake somewhere and not write something down? So we should have 51, 150, 253. So we should have $450 that we're taking back to the bank. So let's see if that is truly the case. That out of the way. So we have 51, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 93, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 50. So $450 is what's going back to the bank this month from all of our sinking funds. I think that that was a successful month. Give me 1 second and I'll come right back with the total amount that we saved and what we ended our sinking funds with. Alrighty, so I think we've got that figured out. So the total amount that we added to our total sinking funds was $442. We ended July with a total of $1,349. With the amount that we were able to add to our sinking funds, we ended the month of August with $1,786 total in our sinking funds. So as you can tell, every little bit does count. It does add up. You just kind of have to be diligent and stay with it, and it will happen for you too. So I think that that takes care of everything for us this month. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. I will be more than happy to try to answer them for you. And I hope that you have an awesome day. And until the next one, have a good one. Bye.